Halloween was a couple of weeks ago, but this one seems to have survived. Good morning, it's Gav from Hiking for Health, and I'm out for a nice morning autumn walk around the village of Rauceby in Lincolnshire. The village of Rauceby is separated into two parts. There is the south and the north, and they're met in the middle by Rauceby Hall, which was built in the 19th century, and it's privately owned. But it's a lovely village, Rauceby. This particular walk starts in woodland. It's just a lovely way to start the walk. Shafts of golden sunlight. I was in here once when it was snowing. It was lovely, very atmospheric. So quite close to Rauceby, you've got the Cranwell Aviation Heritage Centre. It's well worth a look. It's free to go, run by a charity. RAF Cranwell's not too far, you see, so there is a sort of direct link with Lincolnshire and the Royal Air Force, as there were so many Royal Air Force bases during World War II, with us being on the East Coast. A lot of them now, unfortunately, are derelict and disused, so you can spot them on the OS maps quite clearly. They're always good to go and have a look at. There is the site of a medieval village in Rauceby. There's not much there anymore, just lumps and bumps in the ground. But again, worth a look at if you're passing. Absolutely. Remember to follow the countryside code. If you bring it in, take it out. And leave no trace. Right, it's a bit of lane walking now, all the way down to the church. So that's the Church of St. Peter. What a beautiful morning. In memory of Pilot Officer Henry Eric Harry Rath and Sergeant Karl Miegel, who died when their Vickers Wellington crashed near here in the early hours of Monday the 20th of April 1942. At the end of the road, Church Lane, you can see a cross that's been there for many, many years, and we'll have a look at that on the way out as I walk past. Now we've just had Remembrance Day and Armistice Day, so all of the poppy wreaths will be laid out around the memorial crosses. And we can also pay our respects to S. Godson, an air gunner in the Royal Air Force, 29th of August 1943. It was 32, I think. Unfortunately, the church wasn't open, but no matter. I will continue the hike and find somewhere pleasant to sit and have my coffee there. But it's been a real experience walking around here, just witnessing the peace and the calm for all these souls who are resting here at Rauceby. It's a lovely memorial for them. It's a beautiful graveyard, as graveyards go. It's believed that this cross used to stand closer to the church, but it was moved here when it was repaired. So this is a potential route, but I'm not going that way. I want to go and see the hall first. So this is the gatehouse of the hall, which we'll see in a minute once we get past this tree. And this place would have originally served the purpose of vetting all the people who were trying to approach the hall, no doubt. 1877 the date is up there. Obviously it's private property, so there's no access, but lovely grounds. Do you know, I might just stop here and have a coffee. You can't beat it. A bit of exploring out in nature. I've got a feeling this is probably going to be one of the last good days of this autumn. It's really warm actually. But the weather's supposed to turn next week. And I think once it does, it'll start to feel a lot more wintry. Charming cottages in Rauceby, some very old buildings. I'm trying to absorb as much of that vitamin D as I possibly can. Oh. And there's the hall. This is a lovely pub. They do great food in there too. So it's a lovely place for walking Rauceby. There are so many ways you can take your route. I'd recommend getting one of the stepping out walk leaflets or looking on the OS maps. There are so many ways you can extend the walk. You can do walks up to 10 miles or just do a short one like today. Either way, there's some lovely countryside to explore. Now there's the spire of the church, St. Peter's, that I was at just a little while ago. I tell you what, if a badger popped its nose out there, I don't think I'd be standing here so calm. Right, off we go. So my channel, Hiking for Health, promoting positive physical and mental health through a love of the outdoors. Whatever the weather and whatever the circumstances. Doesn't matter if it's a 20-mile hike or if it's a 2 or 3 mile hike. As long as you're out, enjoying the outdoors can only be a positive thing. Well, those rabbits or that badger's got a mate. And this is quite a recent one. These are rabbits. Look at that. Now, I've seen Watership Down, and I know what can go on between rabbits and poor things. What's that? You want to show me Watership Down? Yeah, of course, it's a cartoon about rabbits, isn't it? Based on the book by Richard Adams. Yeah, I'd love to watch that. That'd be great. Half an hour later, traumatised for life. Hey, up, here's the other bit. They're building themselves a palace around here. Look at that. So lately I've been wondering about my channel and what to do with it. I use it for the outdoors and documenting my wild camps and hikes. And I also do gear reviews. You know, when I see that there's something worth reviewing. But I'm not sure how to take it forward, whether just to keep doing what I'm doing or do something slightly different. I enjoy all of it. I enjoy the wild camps. I haven't had much time to do those recently. I love the hikes and the exploring, and I love the history side of things. Some videos are more popular than others, but it doesn't stop me doing them. I do enjoy documenting the history on a hike. I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea, but I suppose it's what works for you, isn't it? I just like getting outside and capturing the moment and being creative. Right, up this path and then it's back into the wood. Right, that's the gate all in place. Now there are some lovely houses down here, really historical. You just get the feeling of age and time. Look at this here, look. Just lovely. But they don't make houses like that anymore. They're thrown up. Where's the pride in the appearance of a house? Now down this lane, there is a really lovely property that's been renovated. It was like one of those from the front, but they've developed it further back. And every time I do this walk and walk past, I can't help but admire it. I remember when it was being renovated and it was all happening and the building work was taking place. They've done a really good job. I don't want to pry, but I'll try and show you as I'm walking past. This weather has changed completely from the beginning of the walk. Look at it. Is that it? Is that autumn over? I hope not. It's my favourite season. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note, but don't worry. Be happy. That's it. Just try and be happy. It's not always that easy. Sometimes life throws things in your way, but you just got to keep going. And hiking is one of the best ways of keeping happy. Now here's that house. It's been extended at the back. They've obviously taken a lot of time with that. 1872 the date. So that's one way to convert a house from 1872. Now this may be a load of old rubbish, but I've got a story to tell about this lane. I was finishing a walk about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was twilight, but almost dark. And I was parked at the church, and I was walking down this lane, and a figure was approaching me, a really tall figure, and they were wearing like what appeared to be, it was a bit like a cloak, but it was just like a long coat. And I didn't think anything of it. And as I was walking down the lane, and bear in mind, you've just got moonlight, some stars, I passed this gentleman who was really tall, and I said, "Good evening." And he just looked at me, just sort of stopped. And as I walked past him, just stared at me. And I thought, that's a bit strange. He was quite an elderly gentleman, but really tall. Anyway, so I carried on. I got a bit further down, and I did that thing you do where you turn around to see where they are. And he was a bit further on, but he was just stood in the middle of the road, staring down at me walking down the lane. And I'll be honest, it sent a shiver down my spine. Anyway, I thought, that's interesting. Wonder what that's all about. So he carried on down here, and then I happened to look over my shoulder just as he was walking into that woodland. Now, it was night time. Why do you need to go in there then? Who knows? Probably something really normal, innocent, but could it be that that night I saw something unusual, something paranormal? Who knows? I just hope I don't see him now when I go through the woods, because then I will be freaked out. Right, down here, back into the woodland and back to the car park. And that was just what I needed this morning. Right, so here is the entrance to the woods, just in here. Now this time I'm going to go left, and that will take me straight to the car park and down here. And that's it, it's straight down here to the car park. I think I've had the best of the weather this morning, which I'm happy about. Right, so I'm going to say thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Go and get yourself out there in the outdoors and enjoy this autumn weather before the winter weather sets in. All the best.